yet been applicable for us on this map, whereas they're very applicable for these two races.
Absolutely.
Whereas you would think that the map design themselves may lend themselves to Zerg in that the expansions are very open and things like that, but we haven't actually seen that. So we will be jumping into the game here. PiLiPiLi versus Sendo, and we're starting off on Blistering Sands.
Blistering Sands. Yeah. Again, a map where 2 watchtowers in the middle are on a bit of a high ground and completely dominate the attack pass. But again, this is an old map, so this is a map that has multiple attack pass. It has rocks that go into the back of your main with like a vision blocking grass. It's just strange. You've got gold maps out in the corners. It's totally unique in a modern mindset, and I'm excited to see it happen.
It will be interesting. Up here on the top right-hand side of the map, we do have our Terran player in a fashionable orange, matching potentially the map's color system and scheme. We've got KLG's Sendo. Yay! And then down here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, the other survivor, our Protoss player in the awesome green, is PiLiPiLi. From Micro Gamers. Yeah. And
I don't do the Street Fighter voice very well. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't know. You can do. Can you do the Ralph voice from Simpsons? Because that would be awesome. Can anyone do that? Yeah.
I don't know that I can.
Something. Anyway, if somebody out there can just say out loud in the room you're in, I bent my Wookiee in Ralph's voice, then that'll make me happy. Just say in chat if you actually said that, and then I'll be happy with you. I'll feel like it was all a good thing to do tonight. And we do have the gateway going down. Protoss is so far really decided to build in base, like really close to their nexus. They haven't gone for any fast expansions or anything like that. Terran's shown a little more flexibility and maybe certainly not command center first, but getting one out a little quicker than their opponents. Yeah.
Absolutely. True. We're seeing an early gas, and we're seeing the barracks. So it looks like we're going to see Reaper play coming out of him. I don't know if it's going to go into neck, which would be interesting. The pro able to come in and scout all of this, so we'll see that as well. But we're not seeing a 2-Rax play. We're not seeing anything very, very aggressive early on. And these maps, with their positionings, do lead to very complete scouting. Our Protoss player doesn't look like anything too unusual. Well, we've got 2 gases going down for him. And again, 2 gases before the Cybercorn. He's looking like he's going up to, it's just the 4?
Just the 2-2, yeah.
Yeah, so not going up to the 6 mining gas that you might expect.
Yeah, and a factory coming out as opposed to this, and it will be a proxy factory. We discussed this earlier, the potential to float a factory into the far side of your opponent's base. And that may be what he's looking to do here. Could also follow up with the starport, but something makes me think he will actually float this in, as there only is one gas still being taken.
Now, the Widow Mine would seem like an obvious approach to this, but the thing is that it's so weird. The base is so big. You can actually float that in there, and he's checking, but you can float it in there, and you might even have enough time to build like 3-4 Hellions. I know that sounds insane, but it's the kind of thing that can actually happen.
Well, you're spotted now. Is he going to see it floated in, or is he going to get out of there?
He's not going to check again because he just checked. Oh my god, he missed it by just a few seconds. He had the instinct, he thought about it, but this is the worst case scenario. You checked it, it's not there, you've put it off the list of possible things, and what are we going to see? We're going to see a Widow Mine come out of there and run right into that mineral line. Now, a Stargate is coming down from a Protoss player. A fast Oracle might be able to help defend against this, or of course do counter damage to balance things out, but we'll see how this play comes out. Looks like this probe just scouting around, looking for interesting things, but not dropping down the pylons that we might expect.
He will swing back in with this Mothership Core and spot that this is there, but it's just about to come out. He can focus fire that down, but it will burrow right under. We'll get the shot off. Not enough to destroy it, but certainly it hurts to do that. The Oracle is coming out here now, but I think the next Widow Mine definitely will beat it. And of course it will kind of take away the potency of the Oracle as an actual attack thing, as it will have to spend its energy to detect this and clear up this threat.
Yeah, and Widow Mines, we're going on to a third Widow Mine. He is really committing. We are going to Widow Mine push. Oh,
he wants to try and pull him back into the first one.
Nice play.
Yeah. And he wants to try and take this path around, keep them separated. Oracle actually
oh my god, it snuck by! The Widow Mine snuck by! It's got to the mineral line! It's got to the mineral line! What is happening? How many workers? Only one! What?
Almost always really bad. Like, I've seen Terran do this a lot, and maybe it's just because they don't feel that they can push in further. But burrowing right in the gas line is almost always likely to suck.
God, look at these
this will definitely do a lot of damage. The Marines coming across, trying to shove that away, and there, the detection from the Oracle will allow that one to be cleared up, and the factory will have to get out. And in terms of the actual damage done, 8 workers have been killed by PiLiPiLi with this Oracle, which just with complete Oracle disco balls of steel went across the map, despite the fact that he needed the detection at home. Just said, forget that, I'm going across.
Yeah.
And if you do damage, I'm going to do it back to you, and ends up coming out well ahead on this at this point.
Yeah, he's about 20 supply ahead. Both players have been forced to make a cannon or a line. Our Terran player is throwing down that command center. He's got it almost done, and our Protoss player is sticking to the air. He's getting a Void Ray out. Ooh, this Oracle could die, and it does. But that is a loss, but I don't know how much it's going to be. It feels like our Protoss player is getting ready to put some pressure on. He's not taken a Nexus. Our Terran player is still putting money down into things like Stargates, a Starport, and he's going to be just finishing Stim.
Yeah.
So you know what? I don't know. I think he can possibly hold just about any aggression that our
he probably
Protoss
can,
off.
particularly since everything's still on the high ground here. It's going to be hard for him to get up. There's no bunkers or anything, but there's a good number of Marines here and not a huge force by our Protoss player. He may just opt to kind of poke a little bit from the outside, see if he can take a shot at that tech lab.
And poking itself would be dangerous. I mean, if he doesn't realize that the stim is done, I mean, he won't know the timers are going to be a little weird. He should expect that
Oracle
it's done,
get caught. Tries to move in, and that one will go down as well.
That's actually a pretty big loss. It's a significant part of this attacking army. He's going to come up here.
Yeah,
he thinks
he
might be thinking that this is stim, but it's combat shields halfway done, and this army is just going to get demolished because he's
so close. Will that actually burn down behind it? And it will, canceling out the combat shield. So fairly good pickup there. But yeah,
another stim. Look at these orange pumpkin Marines. He might actually be able to pull this off. He's running back through the 2 Time Lords, but these Stalkers are going to pull right through. He has really decimated the supply count, and he is in the base, and he's just got a dominating advantage right now. The SCVs have to be pulled. A little bit of dancing back and forth. We'll see when the engagement happens. Both players waiting until they have the opportune moment. Those SCVs are stacked up on a mineral line, and they just work right in there. The
really
Marines are getting
not
picked
getting
off.
anything done to these Void Rays, and if they just stay alive, there's ultimately going to be nothing you can do to actually approach them. Protoss closing in here now. SCVs are pulled off the line yet again, trying to go for a full surround against these, but as long as the Void Rays themselves live, then there's really nothing to be done. And Sendo does call GG.
Well, I bet you that's not how you're expecting the game